Okay, we're going live. It's very serious now. Okay. Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. This is lesson number 14 for beginners, and this is going to be fun. This is my brother, JP.
Hello.
And for those of your buddies that haven't seen you forever, I'm sure they're going to be excited to see you, so that'll be cool. He's going to be the guy who's I'm going to be teaching at during this lesson, and he doesn't know much about what I'm going to be going over, so it's going to be awesome to use him. And he's got the guitar plugged in, but what we're going through, the reason I held this guitar up, it's not plugged in, you might not hear it too well, but what we're going to go over is bar chords today. We've kind of been going over just a simple bar where we put our finger over all the strings, which has been really cool. And now we're going to actually put a whole bar chord together so it sounds like you can play a jam. And with that, I'm also going to introduce in this session something that's called a capo. And the capo is really cool. It's really important to utilize. And so we're going to use this too. And what this acts as is another nut. So this is called the nut on the guitar. And if we want to put this somewhere on the guitar on one of the frets, then basically it shortens the neck. And so in this demonstration, I'll probably have JP put it on, because that way we can you might be able to see the whole neck better, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so when you put these on, you can just kind of they're like a clip. You just kind of put it over the fret, put it near the fret that you're going to use. You want to put it on, put it right. So right, if you want it right behind the, or you want to do it on the second fret, then put it right behind the fret. And now this nut is acting like there. Now the reason why I wanted to use the capo in this lesson of bar chords is because your finger is working like a nut or like a capo. That's what it's doing. And so when we use this term bar, that's what we're doing, is we're just acting like a capo or nut, and we're just barring the whole neck. Hey David, how's it going, buddy? And so that's what we're doing. Okay, so JP, just do a full bar on like the second fret. Yep, like that. And just hit all the strings. And see if you can get all the strings to sound. Yep, so that's good. So all the string is sounding. Now what we did in the last lesson is we had then you, the students, put your third finger 2 frets over and 1 string down. So it would be on the 5th fret, 3rd string, just like that. And see how if you looked at JP's finger, see how it wants to flatten out? I don't know if you can see that good. I'll kind of mimic it as well, but it kind of wants to go like that. And the problem with that is when you do that, of course, you're not going to be able to play these strings because it's going to deaden out, or you're going to play the wrong strings. So you know what we had you do is try to, now he's doing it right, he's trying to keep it where it's kind of got that nice shape in there, but it's going to want to flatten. It takes time, you know. But then if you can you try playing all the strings like that? It's harder, huh? Yep. And sometimes on a bar chord, sometimes you have to, like, if you watch my shoulder, like my shoulder has to, I almost have to dip it down a little bit and get in there so I can get more leverage with my hand, if that makes sense. Yeah, there you go. He's got it all going. Yep. So that's just, all he's doing there is a full bar on the 2nd fret. So it's like he's capoing. So like, for instance, check this out. Take that off. If we capoed this like that, all he'd have to do is put 1 finger there That's the same chord. Is that easier? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just move that around.
Yeah, just move that around. So when you're playing, just shift it everywhere. Be in your band and then go shift, shift, shift. Hey, what's up, Tree? So, yeah, totally. You could just, it'd be super funny. Tree says 2 chords walk into a bar. Totally. Oh man, this is totally true. So that's how you would do that for you beginners out there. It's super cool though to use the capo. I mean, you can't. I'm not a big capo guy. Tree is a huge capo guy. I know he is. No, I doubt it. But check out Tree Fine though. His music's awesome. His guitar playing's awesome, and the stuff he writes is really fun. For especially guys like us that are kind of metalheads, and we enjoy that kind of style. So, but check it out, Tree. I don't know where we can find your stuff, but I take it they can go to Tree Fine at Facebook and maybe get a hold of you and check out some of your stuff. And his guitars are absolutely awesome. Okay, now to make this work, so you guys are playing a full bar chord, like a major or minor bar chord. That's what we're really going towards, okay? But what we just did is something that you want to first get down. If you can just do the full bar and then go 2 frets over, 1 string down, that would be your beginning point. But now, that was last lesson. Now let's get into the new lesson. So let's really gear it up and get it going. Now, E major, if I had you play an E major that looks like this, do you remember that chord? Yeah, that's the E major. Play that. So this is the killerest heavy metal chord ever, probably. Just popular chord. But if you played that, you got to remember it's like having a capo right here, but it's the nut. You can't see it too well. There's the nut right there. And so that's like a capo. Now, if you move that over 1, just everything over 1, play that. Whoa, that sounds kind of weird, huh? Now, it sounds cool if you're playing a minor, a melodic minor or something like that. Maybe it might be good, especially for guys like me who have studied a little bit of classical and flamenco stuff. You'd utilize that. But if we stuck this capo right here on 1, now play it. Oh, cool. We have a chord, right? So if he moves it up 1 more, the theory would go that we could just move this up 1 more, and that'll complete the chord. So that is what the bar is going to do. Our bar again is going to take over the nut and take over the capo. And what it does is for guitar music, what it does is it helps us to play a chord instead of changing the position of your fingers. We can keep actually our fingers in the same position and just move it along the neck like this with a bar. We put the bar up. And so we can play every chord in the key that we're in by using a bar and just staying on the same relative pattern. So, for instance, play a C. Okay, so he's playing a C, right? But what if he just got done playing that E that he played, that E major, and he goes, man, dude, I don't want to play that C. I don't want to jump to that C. That's too hard, right? Instead of going like this to that, maybe he doesn't like that. But where else can we play a C? Well, if that's an E major, and we know our notes on this string, the 6th string. We know that's E, we know that's F, we know this is G, we know this is A at the 5th, so where that dot is, the 5th fret dot. That's an A on the 6th string. It's a B on the 7th string, and on the 7th fret. And on the 8th fret, we have our C. So check this out. He's going to move, if we know E is here and the nut's there, there's the nut. So let's move that nut all the way over to the C, like here. Where would his fingers need to go? So if the nut's right here, just like that. Now play that without the bar. Not too bad, right? Not such a bad sound, but let's put the capo on the C. Whoa. Same as that. But he's all, so look at his finger though. It's the same position. Exact same position. Go back to that E. It's the exact same position. So he's not doing anything different. All he's doing is just moving it all the way up to where he's now positioned his fingers. He's positioned him at the 9th fret. That's where his 1 is at. His 1's on the 9th fret. And then his 2nd and 3rd finger are on the 10th fret. And that's kind of how that's looking. But same thing. Now that's why bars are important, because if you want to keep this pattern, you just want to slide up, then what you do is you use a bar. Okay? So because you can't move your capo all over the place, your finger, you can. So now we're going to have JP do the full bar chord. This is going to be his first bar chord ever in his life. So mercy beyond measure. So now because we're going to do it in C, he's got to put his bar over the C, which he is. Which the C on the 6th string is right there on the 8th fret. So he bars it. And then what he has to do is play the E looking chord with his other fingers. And I'm going to have you switch those two. Yep. So see what he's doing? Oh my gosh, he did that because he's into math. He knows how to put things together. So he did that really good, and that was pretty quick. He switched up these two fingers, and then I have him just reverse them. But that's it
Is
now.
that because this one's longer?
Yes.
You do that just naturally?
Yep. And plus, usually you want your pinky on the 3rd string when you're barring like this, because if you want to move that pinky someplace else, it's
Down
easy
here.
to do.
Okay.
Okay. So right there, he's got all of his fingers there. You could tell it feels really awkward to him probably, and it looks a little weird. But he's doing it pretty good. I mean, when I put mine on there, it's like that. So I don't know if it's much different than what he's doing. But you know what I'm going to give him though to help him out is I'm going to get him a footstool so he can put his foot on there and lift his things a little. That's right. We didn't even have our equipment in place.
No.
But now we do. So that's how we did that. You got it? So let's see if you can get some sound out of there.
Okay.
Oh, he's got half of it. Right? You can hear half of it. Oh, the high parts of it you can't quite hear too well. It kind of goes bloop, bloop. Kind of percolates like a coffee shop. Yeah.
Coffee machine.
Oh, that's good. Now try to hit them individually.
That one didn't like it.
Okay, so the bar is doing its good work. It's doing a good job. I'll put that right behind you.
Yep.
And so he's doing real good. The only thing he's struggling with a little bit really is that 2nd string. And that's his little fat on his finger right here. is not used to barring, is not used to the feel of that bar. And so he kind of doesn't know the pressure and the amount of pressure and that kind of stuff. If I were to push it harder, there, see, it works fine. But it's just, it's hard when you never done. And this is his first time doing a bar, so everybody give it up to Jean Paul. He's rocking this thing.
And you have to really squeeze between the bar finger and the thumb. Like you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, you probably do. I mean, I hate to tell you this, but I don't even think about it anymore.
Right.
But
when you're first starting.
But when you're first starting, yeah, I would imagine the pressure feels pretty intense. You know, he's playing an electric guitar, Jackson, and it's fairly easy to play, so it's not really, the action's pretty low. And if you have a guitar, by the way that is, the strings are too far above the fret. So if your strings are too high, this is going to, doing a bar is going to be really difficult. Okay. Now the reason why we do bars is because a lot of music is based off bar chords. Exactly, you know, just it's pretty basic stuff. So anyway, bar chords are important. And again, if you don't want to switch all the time over here and switch everywhere, sometimes you can just move into a bar chord. Now, if you should know the names of the strings. Especially the one on the first string, or the sixth string. Remember, the first and the sixth strings are octaves, so they're the same. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, back to E. There's only 7, and then there's an octave, which is the 8th. So we only got 7 chords to play, really. Now we can do different things with those chords for sure. But we are really only working with this 7. And so JP just learned E major. He knows E major. That's the bar right there. He knows C major because he just played it right there. And he'll get that together for you. No rush. He's getting his fingers together. He's building it up. There it is. He built it up and he did it. So there's C major. Now check this out. If I say now to JP, okay, now play B major. You're in C major. Okay, he just played a B major. Now if I tell him play an A major, there's A major, okay? So now he knows all of those. If I told him to play a D major, there's D major. So check this out. JP, who's only been playing for what?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
7 weeks?
7 weeks he's been touching the axe. So this guy's barely been playing. He already knows all the major chords. He just learned them all. He knows E major. I didn't tell him to play it, but G major's right there. He just played an A. He just played a B. He just played a C, and he just played a D. So he played all the major chords.
So if you were going to play F major, would you cover this one?
That's right.
Okay, and then you would do the same thing?
That's right. I didn't tell you to play F either.
You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't. So I didn't tell him to play F and G. Sorry, my bad. But he practically did them all. Right. He did 5. We left out the F and the G. My bad. But we could have had him do that too. But he just now learned all of the major chords. Isn't that cool? So he just went right through it. Isn't that cool? So now let's do now a minor. Let's have him do all the minor chords. So now play an E minor.
That's it.
Yep, so all the minor is he's flattening the third degree of the major, the third note of the major. E, G. In a major, the G is sharped. And you don't need to know that so much, but you need to practice. Go back to my last lessons and you'll kind of start getting some of this. But anyway, so he doesn't play the G sharp. He's flattening it, meaning he's going one down the road, and that's to G natural. And so that he just pointed to the nut, and that's like a bar. So that's like a bar. So now if he played a F minor, what would that look like? Play the E minor again. So move that up. There he goes.
And this one just won't do anything.
That one doesn't do anything.
Because that mirrors. Okay, so every finger's just off one.
Yep. So you can see him working through this in his mind. Cool, he just did an F minor, right? He doesn't have to put this one down for the minor. This one's off, by the way. He's flipping, or no, well, he's not, but it looks like it sometimes, right? That finger's kind of in there. And, but I'm putting it up there just so you see that it's not holding anything down. But the bar is the one that is taking this note because we're making it minor. So now he's going to play a G minor. Hey, Katie. Katie says, hi, JP.
Hey, Katie.
Whoa, he just learned G minor. Now, can JP go through all the minor chords? Check this out. 6 weeks, and he's going to go through all the minor chords. He's know every minor chord. Right now, first time, ever. A, so he just did an A minor. That is a B minor. That's a C minor. That's a D minor. And then if he moved it 2 up, he would be right back at the E minor, right? The octave. Okay. So check this out. Within just a short time, JP, who has never played guitar before, picked up this instrument for the first time 7 weeks ago. Never did a bar in his life until just now. In this lesson, he knows all the major chords and he knows all the minor chords.
For E.
No, not just in E, in all.
In all of them.
Yeah.
Because you just. Okay.
Because if you're just because if I had you start on F major, and then I had you go to G major, you would just do the same thing. You'd just be here, and then I'd have you go to G major and A major. So you know them all.
Okay.
Okay. So he knows all the majors, all the minors. Okay. Now, when you learn key signatures, like how many sharps are in G major, how many sharps are in E major, that's another lesson down the road for you guys. Then you'll know when to play the major or the minor, and what depending on what key that you're in, the song is in. Because you might be playing a song that is in E major, and if you're trying to play, you know, something that is not in that key signature, then it's going to sound funky. And that would be a problem. But what's great about learning the bar chords is, what if I said to JP, like, hey, instead of playing a F major, play an F sharp major. That sounds all hardcore. F sharp major. This guy's barely been playing guitar. How's he going to get this together? F sharp major. F sharp major. So that's an F.
Okay. But now I got to add the sharp.
F sharp major.
Which would be.
So, well, this is an F. So F sharp's there. So move the whole bar over.
Bar over.
And just play your pattern.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a minor. So make it major. To make it major, where did your finger? Yep.
Yep. So this is F sharp major. Okay.
There, he just played F sharp major. Okay.
This would be G sharp major.
So he's going to play G sharp major because he's getting cocky. So he just played a G sharp major. And then I think he's gonna go to an A sharp major actually, and see if he can do the A sharp major. Get his fingers together. Okay, cool. Now let's test JP. So what he's doing, he's just passed the test because I just gave him like, hey, play the F sharp major. He went to the A sharp major, and he went to these other the G sharp too. And so, by knowing just the E chord, and understanding the theory of this nut and what this nut does and how your finger, your bar, is replacing the nut, he is now able to play every really just standard chord. So if I tell him, hey dude, I need you to play in a band like tonight, and I need you to play C sharp minor. Now if he's looking down here and he's going, where the heck, I know this C, but where's C sharp minor? His brain's going to get a little jacked. I can guarantee you that right now. But if he's, after knowing what he's knowing right now, and I said play a C sharp minor. So he's going to C. That's where his C's at. So where's C sharp? So that's C. So where's C sharp minor? So if that's C, to make it sharp, what do you do?
Go this way.
Right. Move it one up. And then to make it minor,
you let go.
You let go of that one finger. And that's what he's got to do in the band. So he's just going to do that. He's just going to play that
in the background.
I just need him to play that so I can rip over it. Right? So isn't that cool? So he's now in my studio, and he's played 7 weeks of guitar. He's never picked up a guitar really in his life. And this is the first day that he's ever played a bar chord in his life, literally. And he already knows all the major chords, all the minor chords, and he knows he can sharpen them, he can flatten them, and he's done. So now he can get a song off the internet, and it says, oh, play a B minor, play a C minor, play a major, whatever it is. And he doesn't have to be intimidated to go like, oh man, where's that at? What does that look like all over here, right? Because, a lot of times people are used to these different chords here, right? And those are great, but you don't need to do them. You can play your chords all along here. Just like I told everybody that you can play your scales on one string if you wanted to. That's the cool thing. So a violin only has 4 strings. A cello, 4 strings. A viola, 4 strings. And so you see them using the frets. They don't have frets, but the whole area of the neck to play, because they play their scales like this. And then they might go like this, but they only have 4 strings, and then they run out. So they utilize the width of the whole neck. So guitar, we get lazy and we just start going, hey, we got all these cool strings. Let's just play our chords down here. But what I'm trying to do is just help you realize that you have a nut there for a reason. And that is, when you have a major like that, and we're using this 6th string as the root note, then you can, in theory, just move that nut. Just move it down and move that pattern. So think of how many punk songs. Let's teach JP a punk song real quick. Play E major. E major. Make it major. That's right. And hit it like this. 1, 2. There you go. He's going to be a punk master. Play a G major. Two there. Strike that twice. Move it to F sharp, major, major, and then make it F major.
The fingers don't want to cooperate.
Okay, so he just did it. So he did this. So isn't that cool? He just learned like every punk song known to man. I mean, they just play it fast or slow at times. But isn't that cool? So, to learn the guitar, you don't need to know a ton of things.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of need to know the theory of how things work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in theory, I'll just get you ready for another. This is theoretical. It's true. But it's music theory. Let me say it that way. But this works just as it worked here with the E, using the 6th string as our root. This will work in theory with other strings as well. So say let's just say your 4th string to be the root. You know your D. That's your D major. That's your D minor. And you know those. Well, the root is this D. So let's just think of your guitar that you had no A string and no E string. You just had the first 4 strings. You just had those, right? So I'm pulling up on my A so you can see that, like, hey, I don't have these no more. You just had these. Well, if this is your root, that D, play that D. He's playing a D minor.
Want to play D major? Or
That's fine. Doesn't matter. Any one you want.
Just the 4?
Yep. Okay, so he's playing just the 4. The root is the key that it's in, this D. Now remember, he's got a nut right here. He's got a nut right there, right? That's playing the root. So check this out. I'm going to mimic his fingers. Now say we moved it up 1. Everything up 1. Play that. Move that back. Yep. Sounds like poop. But let's put this on. Let's put the old capo on. Hit this string. Okay, that sounds good. Move it up again. Sounds good again, right? So he can do that with everything. See, the capo just moves up with him. And so now he's playing majors, right? So he played D, he played D sharp, he played E, E sharp. So you can see how he's just moving up. Same pattern, same look. Just as we did before with that E, he's doing the same thing, just with it what the pattern changed because he's on a different set of strings, and every string has a starts with a different note. So it looks a little different, but in theory it's the same exact thing. He's just moving everything up. Now if I took this off, what needs to replace that capo is a bar. Now this would be difficult for JP because it's going to look like this. I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. That's going to be the chord. So like, check this out. Here's the D. Now I'm not playing it like this. Like you guys out there in guitar land are used to seeing it like this. Like that. Now I'm going to move my fingers though like this, like I'm playing the nut. Like the nut is my bar. And so, now check this out. I'm in D. If I want to go to E, I got to move it 2. So there's E, F, right there. A, B. Isn't that crazy? So that bar, in theory, it works the same way when you're using that, when you're starting with that open note. You know, when the nut is playing that open note, when the nut is playing that open root note, and you're playing a major or minor chord, in theory, you can now use that same hand formation to move it wherever you want. And you just need to have that nut move with you. That nut needs to move with you. And so just like D here, you can move it, you can go to the E. But again, if you want to play a D major, and you want to do it with your root up here on the 6th string, remember the D major would be, where would D major? Yep, there you go. See, he's already getting it down. D major is going to be up there. And he's going to get his major pattern. There it is. I think you dropped that one. Yeah. There you go. There you go. See? D major. So he's already got it. And I hope now you understand how this theory works on the guitar. It's really cool. You have a string here, you got a string there, you got a string there. They're all open. The nuts is that's the bar. So when you play any chord, A major, the A is the bar. So you can move it to a B, you can move it to a C, you can move it to a D, you can move it to an E. And if you do that, you can go. Right? You can now. I mean, you know, every jam in the world is playing these things. So it's like, it's really good to understand. So this lesson is important. I mean, because now you can really know all the chords, major or minor, and you can. And I know it gets.
So what do you recommend practicing? Like on one zone, should they just start with the E string and just practicing those bars?
Yes.
And then after a while, then drop to the 2nd string? And
yeah, like what you want to do is just start with the E, like you say, and just go, okay, E major, you know, E minor, and then go to F major, minor, G major, G minor, B. So go just the natural notes. Always just go the natural notes first. E, what I mean by natural is no sharps or no flats. Just the natural note. And do that on every string. So A is right there. And then B's right here. So if you played an A major, that's what you're going to find. And so you know that your B major is going to be, and then you know your C is going to be. And so you can see how I'm doing this. But you know, but don't, if you get too confused jumping to the A or to the D, I just want you to understand the theory that what you're learning on this E string, the 6th string, and playing your bar chords, works with all the strings. So when you see
So you're just basically though you're finding so like because this is the E string, you play the E chord,
Yep.
and then you're just sliding the E chord with your finger as the nut.
That's
all the way
right,
down.
because when you're playing that E,
Mhm.
that is the root,
Mhm.
and see the nuts playing
Right.
the root.
Right. So that if I drop to the second string, then since that's A, then I got to play A, find the A chord, and then I'm moving the
But
A
leave,
chord down.
but leave that root, that open root.
Right, leave this open one, and
Yep.
then if I go to the fourth, then because that's the D, then you play a D.
That's
and then
right.
You don't hit the bottom two strings.
Right.
And then you're just sliding the D along, but creating a new nut.
A new bar. Yep.
And then, but that doesn't work for the last three, does it?
Well, then it gets a little more
it gets tricky
confusing.
because it's all offset a little bit.
That's right.
Okay.
Because of the way the guitar's tuned.
Right. Okay.
So,
I'll
but
stick with the top three.
yeah, but so when you see bands and they're playing different things, like you see them, that kind of stuff, like a nice. So that chord right there, that's the nut. I just moved it over there. So I just moved the bar. All these chords are the same as the chords that we played here, by the way. They're all the same. The reason they sound different to our ear is because of the pitches that they're in. So when you play a higher pitched, when things are higher pitched, it sounds different in our brains, you know? So if I'm playing something over here, like, it sounds different from that. Even though it's the same chord, same exact notes. It's just, it sounds higher, so we go kind of like, whoa, that's different. And that's all people are doing in writing songs, is they're just rearranging notes, putting them in an organization that is kind of cool. You know, it sounds, the phrasing, what we call phrasing, it sounds neat the way they've styled it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's it. But now JP's going to be able to get on and play all kinds of cool songs. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It was a long one, 42 minutes. That's probably one of my longer ones. But it was worth it because I got to do it with you.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Thanks, brother.
So we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. See y'all.
Bye-bye.